everyone, welcome to Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today I am very excited to bring a special announcement. Fiction Falls Readathon is back for the month of August. This is our third time doing this. First time you got to meet the town. Last year you got to meet, what was it, the people? I think. Well, basically. And then this year, you're going to be meeting our magical creatures that we have in the town of Fiction Falls. I can't remember if last year's was people. I can't remember exactly. Clint, remind me of her own. I cannot remember for the life of me, even though it was just last year. But this year, we are going to be doing a theme of magical creatures. So every spot on our bingo board is another magical creature, and each magical creature represents a prompt. Some of these I might have a hard time describing because I don't remember all the origins. Clint did a great job researching all the origins for me. So I will do my best when I talk about each creature. But I do have all the graphics will be linked down below. I will have a document with every one of the graphics you can use. That will include our bingo board. I'll also have graphics of what each prompt, which magical creature represents what prompt, as well as our host favorites. We are bringing those back again. And then I will talk about the host favorites in a little bit. And then we also have a currently reading graphic, I believe. Well, we're keeping the ones from last year. So that way it's easy for you guys to grab and just use however you like. But this year we are going to have some fun. We're going to have sprints. We're going to have a movie day. But first, let's get into the prompts. That's what I'm the most excited to share with you guys about. And then we'll get into everything else. So if you don't have your bingo board yet, make sure you go into the description. Everything will be in the document down below. So make sure you grab all of those because you're going to need it. I'll talk about everything else once I go through all these prompts. So we're going to go through the bingo board real quick and tell you what they each represent. So for our first magical creature, we have a kappa, which is a part of Japanese mythology. And for that, we have treat yourself to food, because the kappa kind of represents, like, they eat a lot of things. So you get to treat yourself to food in any way, shape, or form of how you want to do that. It's completely, however, up to you. You could go to the store, get yourself something to eat. You could go to order from a restaurant, however you want to do this. And then the second one we have is the dragon. For the dragon, we have BookTube made me do it. And if you don't have BookTube or watch BookTube, you can use Book Community. So basically that means you got this book because of the community. Someone inspired you somehow, some way to pick up this book. So that's what you're going to use for the dragon. And then for the next one, we have a lichen. Just kind of short for lycanthrope. So for that, we have animal on the cover. So it should be any kind of animal that you could think of. A cat, dog, dragon, lizard, bird, whatever you could think of that could be on the cover, you could count it. Even if it's very, very small, you can still count it. And then next up, we have the phoenix, which is read during daylight hours. So instead of a lot of readathons like to use the prompts read at night, we're switching it so you're reading during the day. So it should be very, very easy to just read during the day. And then next we have an angel. For the angel, we have predominantly a white cover because angels give off a white energy. So any book you have that has a majority of the book is white, that would count. So that should be pretty easy to find. There are actually a lot of books that have white covers, surprisingly. I did not realize this until I started looking at my own shelves. And then next we have a siren. So for a siren, we have water on the cover. which is one of the prompts we had last year. We are using it again because it's a popular prompt. There's a lot of books with water on the cover. Any way, shape, or form you can figure it out. Should be easy enough. You could do that. And then next we have a griffin. So for a griffin, we have a book involving royalty in some way, shape, or form. Even if you're reading a mystery and thriller and there's no really any sign of royalty, even if there's a word in there that says prince, king, queen, princess, if it's not in the book or in the title and you're having a hard time trying to find royalty in a book, let me know. I will see what I can do to help. And then next, we have a gargoyle. For that, we have watch live productivity sprints. So we will have sprints on the 1st and on the 30th of August, so you can join us. Or you could join somebody else's. It does not have to be ours. So anyone who's doing some kind of sprints, just join on it. And the next we have a succubus, which is a book with romance. It doesn't have to be like a romance book. It can be a romance subplot, just a hint of romance. Someone's briefly in a relationship. It does not have to be the majority of the book. As long as it has some tiny bit of romance in it. A kiss could count as well. And then next we have a unicorn. So for unicorn, we have a pretty spine. Instead of a pretty cover, you're looking for a spine that looks very attractive. Let me see if I can give you an example. For an example, I would consider this a pretty spine. Because I just love that spine. I just think it's so pretty. So you can, like, that's just an example. So something that looks pretty to you on the spine. Next we have a Pegasus. So for that we have wings on the cover. And it does not have to be a bird with wings. It could be an airplane because an airplane has wings. It could be anything that you could possibly have wings on the cover. It could be an angel. If you don't have anything that you could consider like an actual wing, then just, use your best judgment. We're not policing anybody's submission, so do however you feel like you want to do it. It's completely up to your interpretation. Then next we have a sylph. So for the sylph we have a letter wheel. So for the letter wheel, you're going to spin, get a letter. It could be whenever you feel like doing the wheel. And then whatever letter comes up, you'll use that to either use anything as on the book cover. So it could be for the title or the author. If it doesn't work for the first letter, it could be anything within the title or author. Let's say the third word in the title has the letter that starts with it. You can use that. If it works for the last name of an author, you can use that. If it works for the first, you can do that. Or any word in the title. It doesn't have to be specifically the first word. It could be at least for anything that's on that cover, title or author. Next we have the free space. So free space, just mark that one off. And then after that we have a golem. So for a golem, I forgot what a golem actually is. I'm sure you can probably find a picture. I cannot remember off the top of my head what a golem actually is. I'm sure Clint could definitely give you a better description. But for that we have a favorite trope. So it could be any trope that you really like in a book. It could be a one-bed trope, forced proximity. It could be enemies to lovers. It could be friends to lovers. It could be a sports romance. It could be a marriage of convenience, fake dating. Whatever you consider a trope that you absolutely love, you could count it. Even micro tropes are okay. So if you need to narrow it down some more, you definitely can. One of my favorite tropes would also be marriage of convenience and fake dating. So I would pick a book based off of one of those. But you really can use any trope that you truly, really love in a book. Like a book with an academy setting. Or, something like that. And then the next one we have a Sphinx, which features a game element. So it does not have to have a game as the whole plot. If someone is playing chess in the book, you could count that. like Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood. If it's just a brief mention of a sport, or if it has any type of like playing hide and seek, or whatever you can think of that works as a game, you can use it completely up to your interpretation. It's pretty easy to find books with games for most genres. If you're having any trouble, feel free to ask. I could definitely help. But I think there's a lot of books with games, or even just a brief mention. It does not even have to be like more than a chapter. It can be like a one page that is briefly on. You can use it however you like. Next we have a fairy. And for that, you're going to pick a book that's predominantly your favorite color. For example, my favorite color is pink. So I would be looking for a book that has mostly pink on the cover. So if your favorite color is blue, you're going to find a book with mostly blue on the cover. And so on and so forth. So it should be fairly easy to find, I would think. If you have any trouble, you can always ask. Then the next one we have is a brownie. And you're going to ask, what the heck is a brownie? Because I did not know this either. Thanks to Clint. Now I know. It's basically like a really, really, really hairy house elf. And because it's so underrated, we decided the prompt for that would be an underrated book. So whatever you consider that is super underrated would totally work for this. Let's see. I know we already want to talk about this book, so this would be a good underrated book. Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis. This is a werewolf book. That's just an idea. It's completely up to your interpretation. Whatever you think is super underrated that's not talked about enough, you can totally count it. Then next we have a dryad on the cover. I mean, not a dryad on the cover. The next creature is a dryad. My bad. And then for a dryad, the prompt is nature on the cover. So it could be like flowers, it could be a tree, it could be a branch, it could be a log, whatever you consider nature. Let's see, do I have anything here that I could show you? I think this would work for nature on the cover. This would also work for nature on the cover because it has a whole bunch of leaves and trees on it. So whatever you consider for nature. And then next creature is the witches. And for that, you're going to buddy read a book. So many people love to buddy read, so buddy read with anybody, whoever you're planning on buddy reading for the month. That would totally count. If you want to, for example, read our group book and read with the rest of us, you totally can do that as well. Our group book for August is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eru. So you could totally do that with us if you choose to. We are going to have a live show for that as well at the end of August. I don't know when yet, but I will keep you guys updated. But you could totally do that if you choose to. If you don't want to do the group book, you could do buddy read with somebody, whoever you want to. Then next we have a vampire. And for a vampire, we have treat yourself to a bubbly drink. So like a drink that you normally wouldn't get on a normal basis. Like, for me, I stopped drinking soda about a year ago. So, like, I could go out and buy myself a soda, for example. So, whatever drink you want to get for yourself totally counts. The next one is a will-o-wisp. And Clint thought this was kind of funny because it's completely different from what the prompt actually is. So, the prompt is go out and, smell the roses and enjoy your day. So, basically, it's like a self-care prompt. Do whatever you feel like doing for the day, and it would totally count. Next, we have a giant. So this would be an author or a book that intimidates you. For example, for me, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson would totally count for me. Because that book scares me. But that's just an example. So whatever you think that intimidates you, totally counts. And then our next one is elves. And for elves, we have accessories on the cover. So anything you consider an accessory, like a crown, a necklace, a bracelet, a ring, a hat. What else can you consider an accessory? A purse, shoes, whatever goes with an outfit. Anything that you consider an accessory would totally work. And then next we have a leprechaun. So for a leprechaun, what you're going to do is flip a coin between your highest and lowest rating. So all you have to do, you do not have to go out and buy a book for this. What you can do, if you choose to, is go onto your reading tracker and see what your highest and lowest is, and then flip between those. Or if you don't feel like doing that, you can just pick 2 books randomly off your shelf and see which one's the highest and lowest. And then you can flip a coin, and heads would be your highest, tails will be your lowest. Whatever it lands on will be the book you end up reading for this prompt. So it could be whatever books you choose to pull from your shelf. Just make sure you flip a coin, and then whichever one it lands on, that's the one you're going to read. And then our last prompt is our centaur, which means stars on the cover. So if you're reading the group book with us, Heavenly Bodies, that would totally work for stars on the cover. If you don't want to use that, you can use any book that has stars. Let me see if I have anything for an example. You know what? I don't think I have an example to show you right this second, but it should be easy to find a book with stars on the cover. And that is our last prompt. And then we are also bringing back our host favorites. So if you read any of the host favorites between me and Clint, you will get an extra entry into our wheel. For those who are new to the Readathon, at the end of the Readathon, we spin for however many entries you get. 2 people will win a $10 Amazon gift card. And anytime you read a host favorite, you always get an extra entry into that wheel. So if you read any of mine or Clint's, you'll get 1 extra entry. However, we're going to have an extra set of host favorites this year that we didn't have before. My fiance Ray, who's also very much huge in our lives, both mine and Clint's, we decided to let him pick some host favorites. He picked 3 series. First, Dungeon Crawler Carl. 2, the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks. And the third is the Demon War Saga by R.A. Salvatore. So if you choose to read any book from any of those series, you get 2 extra entries per book, because he's not normally a part of this. So we decided to give people some extra entries for those who want to attempt to read them. So if you decide to read the Dungeon Crawler Carl series for the whole month and that's all you read, that's like 8 times 2. That's like 16 extra entries into the wheel if you choose to read the whole Dungeon Crawler Carl series. And then if you decide to read any of the other series, you'll also get 2 extra entries per book for those as well. But I'm excited that we have Ray bringing in some extra host favorites. So that should be a lot of fun. And we will be having sprints on August 1st. I believe we're doing it at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Let me just confirm that and make sure. Yes, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on the 1st over on Clint's channel. And then on August 30th, we will be on my channel at the same time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And normally, yes, I know there's 31 days in August, but I know that the 31st falls on a Monday, and a lot of people work during the week, so we thought it'd be better to just do it on a weekend. So the day before, the 30th, we figured it'd be a much better day for people to join in on sprints if they choose to. And what else do I have for you guys? Oh yes, we do plan on having a movie day. We are going to do a surprise movie. Since nobody has suggested anything for movie suggestions, so we decided the best idea that I thought of was it'll be a random movie that the Clint and I choose. Because since we haven't gotten any suggestions from anybody, we just decided, heck, we'll just surprise everybody with a random movie. So if you want to watch the movie with us, it will be in our Discord server. So I will make sure to link the Discord down below if you want to join us. And it's also best to join the Discord anyway, so that is the best place to submit your entries. You can also submit to me or Clint over on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Amanda's Booktopia. Clint is at Reads Readers. So if you want to submit over on there, you certainly can. And if you choose to join our Discord, we would love to have you for the whole month of August. We will be watching the movie in the Discord. We'll be chatting about what we're reading, all the fun stuff. If you want to join us for the random movie drop, we haven't decided on a day or time yet. But keep an eye on the Discord because we will let everybody know on there when that movie is going to drop. So we thought it'd be really fun to just surprise everybody since we decided we don't know what we're going to watch yet. So it'll be a surprise movie. So I am very excited for all the things. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. You could also ask me on the Discord once you join us. You could also ask Clint. You could even ask Ray if you want to. For the most part, though, Clint and I are pretty much carrying this whole thing, but Ray has always been our support system. He helps us when we need it, so feel free to ask him too if you can't reach one of us. And he is also on Instagram and on YouTube as Raymond's Corner. However, he doesn't really use it very much. I think he should. Tell him, if you try and follow him, he needs to continue his YouTube channel. Because he has not posted in God knows how long, and I want him to read it back. So go tell him, please, start up your channel again. Because we want him to. But, of course, we would love to have you guys join us for the whole month of August. We have all kinds of fun stuff in the works. We would love to have you join us. Tell me down in the comments if you are planning on joining, what you're most excited about. I'm excited for all the things. Oh yes, and feel free to double up, triple up, quadruple up, however you want to. We are not policing anything. You could use the prompts to your advantage. Feel free to use just a few books for all the prompts if you can manage it. And we are super excited for this to start. It will start from August 1st and go till August 31st. The winners of the Readathon, I will be spinning a wheel with everybody's entries on September 1st. So I would say the deadline to submit all your entries will be September 1st. Actually, we'll give you till September 2nd. Yes. We'll give you all day September 1st to submit your entries, and then September 2nd is when I will spin to find out who our winners are going to be. So you have until midnight Eastern on the 1st. Well, technically going into the 2nd. But you have all day on the 1st to submit all of your entries. So that way, if you don't get them in before the 1st, you still have all day on the 1st to get those in. And if you need help submitting and you're not able to do it on your own, feel free to hit me or Clint up and we will help you post your entries. So that way we can count it for you. I will also be keeping a spreadsheet like I did past years, so keep track of everyone's bingos. So we are excited to get started. I am really looking forward to this readathon. I'm hoping you are too. If you got this far into the video, please let us know if you're going to be participating. If you don't feel like participating but you still want to watch the movie with us, you can still join us in the Discord because we would love to have you. And we truly do not know when the movie is going to drop, truly. So if you want to join and you want to see that movie, whatever that movie might be, make sure you drop into our Discord. I will link the Discord down below. For some reason, sometimes the Discord doesn't always stay permanent linked. So if you have any trouble getting into it, let me know and I will make sure to get you in there. Because I want everybody to be able to participate that wants to. So even if you don't want to do the readathon and you just want to watch the movie, that is perfectly fine. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy our readathon announcements. I know we're not doing anything fancy this year. We were planning on doing something huge this year. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out that way. But maybe next year. You just never know. So thank you so much for watching. If you got this far into this announcement and you don't feel like being chatty, why don't you leave me a 4-leaf clover for the leprechaun prompt? Because I think that's one of my favorite prompts. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content from me and more bookish videos, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you all next time.